Right, so we just got to the Pinchot trailhead parking. It's pretty late. It's 5:25 at night. We're going to be doing the southern loop today. We're doing a little bit of a road walk here down to access the beginning of the southern loop. We're going to hike down to Choke Creek. There's like 5 or 6 campsites down that way, spread out over about 1.25 miles, and they're supposedly really nice. There's some waterfalls down there too, so we'll see what they look like. Maybe not tonight, maybe tomorrow, but either way we'll check them out. And Mike is back for his second backpacking trip, so I guess I didn't make him hate backpacking too much on the first trip, although he was belly aching about how late it was. He doesn't want to hike at night, so we'll see what happens. I don't think we're going to be hiking too much in the dark, maybe not at all. So we'll see. I mean, it's relatively flat here. You're pretty much up around like 1,800 feet to 2,000 feet, but it's all on like a plateau, so you're not really gaining a whole lot or losing much. It's the first full day of fall right now. Temperature was in the upper 50s, supposed to get down to the mid to low 40s tonight, so it's definitely going to feel like a nice fall night. Alright, so here we are. We're about to enter onto the trail. The Pinchot trail is marked with orange blazes consistently throughout. And it's made up of several trails. So there isn't one trail called the Pinchot Trail. It's made up of several different trails to, you know, make like a large loop. So we'll have to check out some of Mike's gear too when we get to camp, if there's still light, which there probably won't be, but if not, we'll look at it tomorrow. Mike liked backpacking so much he went out and geared up. He has a new backpack. He has the intro hammock setup from Dutch, which is a complete package that Dutch is selling now. It's a tarp, hammock, suspension. He's got a camp chair, new sleeping bag. Mike really went all in. What backpack is that, Mike?
Osprey Exos.
Exos. Looks pretty snazzy. Here is a lot of swampy area. Which, from what I read online, was to be expected, so can't really say I'm too shocked. The whole trail in general, north and south, is supposedly pretty swampy, and I can definitely say the north section is from what I saw last spring. But knock on wood, my feet are still dry right now, so it's been pretty avoidable. Mike's got waterproof boots, so he's just plowing right through it.
Oh man, that's good stuff. Ice? Snow?
Nah, foam. First little creek crossing. Water is full of tannins. It looks just like the water in the Pine Barrens, super red. Right on the boundary line. So yeah, there it looks like it's gonna go straight. Well, after that little swampy section kind of dried out, we're making decent time. Just came across this little meadow. It's around 6 o'clock now, so we got about an hour's worth of daylight left. But we should be getting closer to the campsites, coming up to them pretty soon. So after that meadow, you'll run right up along like a road for a little bit, and then dip back into the woods and run along a creek for a little bit, and then come out. And the trail seems to follow this property boundary right here. And there's a creek down that way that we're kind of following as well. Now, I'd have to check the map, but I think that's Painter's Creek, and that's the creek, or actually no, Choke Creek, I'm sorry. I think that's Choke Creek, and that's where we're going to be camping near in a mile or two up here, we'll start getting to some campsites. All right, it's around 6:40, 20 minutes before the sun officially sets. We're getting pretty close. I think we're about, we're probably less than a mile at this point. Just came across this little rocky section here. Not too many rocks so far. It's been pretty much just like a nice stroll through the wooded forest. But I guess just to remind you that you're in Pennsylvania, they're going to throw some rocks in here and there. That we're getting pretty close to Choke Creek, and there's like this rhododendron tunnel. It sounds like there's some people camping up here too. I hear some voices. Like I said, there's like 5 or 6 campsites here, so if the first one's full or occupied, we could keep going to the next one. Okay. All right, so the sun has officially set at 7:05. Sunset like 5 minutes ago. So I don't even know if you can see this or not, but we're getting pretty close to the creek now. Probably around a half mile. Then we're gonna find some place to camp for the night. Little full, lots of sap. This actually is the trail, believe it or not. Little grown in. So Mike's been binge watching Darwin on the Trail, and a lot of his gear that he has was on Darwin's recommendation. He got this headlight on Darwin's recommendation, and it seems to be pretty nice for, what was it, $10 headlamp, Mike? Where'd you get it?
Rain jacket for $10.
$10. Where'd you get it? Amazon?
Amazon.
Mike's facing his fears. He didn't want a night hike. All right, so we found the first campsite here right at Choke Creek. I'm not even sure if you can see this or not, but it's got a little ring. The creek is right down here. Now, supposedly these campsites, from what I've been told, are nicer and nicer the further down you go, but it's already 7:45 and it's starting to get pretty dark, so I'm not trying to go any further. I don't think Mike's trying to go any further. So we have water, so we'll have water to filter here. We have a fire ring. It looks like there's already some wood gathered right here, so we'll be able to get a fire going. And then Mike's gonna break one of the cardinal rules of camping, which is when you get new gear, you're supposed to try it out at home or something first. Mike, have you tried your gear out first at home?
Nope.
No? Okay. So hopefully everything that he needs is in there
Somebody
and not
said
broken.
They were gonna help me put it up.
Yeah, well. All right. So let's start breaking out Mike's new gear. All right, so we got camp all set up. Mike just finished up his. He had the Mountain House chili mac and beef, and I'm just making some soup. We got a fire going. And we are the only ones here right now, and it's probably gonna be that way the whole night. Alright guys, it's like 11 o'clock. Fire's just about died down, and food is hung, and I'm gonna go hit the rack. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Alright, good morning guys. It's September 23rd, Sunday morning. We just got up. Both of us slept like babies. It's 9 o'clock already. This is where our setup was last night. Kind of a tight squeeze, but we found some trees. But check this out. If you stop at this first campsite, fire rings right there, creek's right there. We didn't notice this last night, but there's a small trail that comes off of the side here. If you follow this back, back here there's a spring. It's a little wet, so be careful getting back here, but crystal clear water. So after like 4 or 5 years, my Sawyer bag just failed on me, guys. You see it's like a little crinkly right there, and I was squeezing it and the seam split open. Oh well, I got extras at home. Mike's new hammock setup. It's got an 11-foot Hexon. Mike, what is this, a 1.6 Hexon?
Yeah.
So 1.6 11-foot hammock. Dutch sells these with the cinch buckles, and I think it's either a 12 or a 15-foot strap. It's an 11-foot tarp, hex tarp with great coverage. I mean, you can see how big this tarp is. I mean, extends over the cinch buckle by a few inches. I mean, it's damn near down to the ground over here. I mean, this would be a really nice tarp for, you know, even some light winter camping. We're breaking camp now. Had a nice relaxing morning. We probably have, to be honest with you, I'm not really sure how many miles, but we'll find out. It's probably going to be around 8-ish, maybe more, I don't know. We'll find out. Beaver dam action going on. I think there's the lodge over there. Nice little dam. Across the third campsite. The second campsite was pretty unremarkable. It was actually not that great at all. It was right on the creek, right on the trail, and only like a spot for maybe one tent or one hammock. Here's the third site. Fire rings right there. And you can see, I mean, tons and tons of trees. Definitely a spot to bring a couple of your friends. Plenty of room for tents, plenty of room for hammocks. The creek's right there. It's pretty nice. Another pretty cool campsite here, right on the creek. Another huge hemlock. For my son Kellen, some definite beaver activity, Kellen. Well, this trail right here would be underwater completely during high water. You can see all the grass is knocked down, so water just blows right through here. It's pretty swampy. You find a way through, Mike? The last campsite and what I was told was the nicest one, and it sure looks like it. The campsite is up on this little cliff here that overlooks the creek. There's like a pretty deep pool down there. I'd imagine that'd be pretty nice for swimming in the summer. Fire rings right on the cliff, and it looks like there's tons of spots here for tents, hammocks. It looks like there's more spots back this way. This was about a mile from the first campsite. About a mile from the first campsite we stopped at. State forest in Pennsylvania, and hunting is allowed. Someone's got a deer stand built here. No, but I think they might have rerouted this around this latest beaver dam here. Yeah, so this beaver dam looks pretty new, and there's the trail down there through all this. So this is all flooded out. I mean, there's still a lot of green vegetation in there, so that can't be that new, or that old rather. All right, so we just turned away from Choke Creek not too long ago, maybe a quarter mile ago. Now we've come out to this nice open section. That still might be Choke Creek down there. I'm not really sure. I'll have to look. Looks like there's a hunting stand way out there. Went through our first extended little rocky section too. Not too many rocks so far. Little waterfall here on Choke Creek. It's over. We're getting back on the trail. That's the trail. We're somewhere around right there, close to that parking area. And then we're going to go back up this way. So we're making decent time. So shortly after the waterfall, there's another nice campsite, tons of places for hammocks, right on a stream, nice fire pit. Like I said, the whole trail's orange blazes, so just stay on the orange blazes and you'll be in good shape. Everything's like very, very well marked. I mean, you can see they got blazes like every 10 yards, 15 yards. And they have directional blazes at any sudden turn that's not that obvious. Sunday trail, and then you're on the Stone Lookout Trail, which is just like a nice wood road. Make a left on Stone Tower Trail up this way. Like I said, the blazes are plentiful, so it's kind of hard to get lost. Stone Tower Trail takes you to this, I guess, just a big pile of rocks that people made. Not much of a tower, but it's there. Looks like some people camp here too. You see it's a pretty wide open area. So we're getting pretty close to the end here. We should have about another mile, I think, to go. Alright guys, well there it is. We're almost back to the road, and then it'll just be a short walk back to the parking lot.